What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Honey Hill. Today, we're going to be discussing why it's essential to make sure your dance circle are high performers, or at the very least, on the same level as you. Being intentional with who you train with affects your training a lot and could be one of the reasons why you see growth quickly, or it could be the main reason why you've become stagnant. So, without further ado, let's get into the tips. Tip number one, and this is a shocker, y'all. So, statistics say performers who are within 25 feet of a high performer experience a 15% increase in their overall performance, versus being next to a low performer decreases your performance by a whopping 30%. Y'all, let that sink in. That means you could be doing the exact same dance around high performers and be killing it way more than you usually would, or you could be doing the exact same dance around people who aren't on the same level as you, and your performance has significantly went down, and you can tell and others can tell too. This is huge when it comes to your training. So the consequences of not being around people who are better than you are actually hindering your growth. And even worse, being the best person in the room, do I need to spell it out? Which is why going to classes that kick your butt is like eating your vegetables, y'all. It's necessary. Don't get me wrong, there's going to be times where you're in classes where you are the best person in the room, like a foundational class. That's perfectly fine. But again, you're doing a foundational class so you can, expand your vocabulary. It's not like you're going to this foundational class all of the time. So in those circumstances, it's perfectly fine. However, there are other circumstances where even when you're in an advanced class, you could be like doing really well, and then if you're standing 25 feet next to somebody who's like so confused, that can actually throw off your performance too, believe it or not. And I'm not saying that from a shady perspective. There have been times, several times, when I've been in an advanced class and I had somebody who I looked up to, who I admired, move away from me because I was messing up. And yeah, it kind of sucks a little bit, but you can't take that personally. They're just trying to make sure that they're pushing themselves, just like you should be pushing yourself. Like when you're in a class, you should be trying to be near the person who's like killing it, but not so much that you can't keep up to the person next to you, if that makes sense. Next, you want to level up your circle. And I'm not gonna lie, this can be a tough one, y'all, especially if you formed a close knit group and y'all aren't on the same page. But if y'all are on the same page, this could be beautiful. It just depends on where you all are at. So, what I mean is, as a group, you can take this as a challenge and you can all level up together. Meaning, in a perfect world, if y'all are on the same page, you can create a plan, train in these advanced classes that would kick all of y'all butts, but you're checking off several boxes. You're exposing yourself to high performers, you're making yourself improve, while at the same time supporting each other and keeping the love and the family and the community that y'all have built, which is so powerful to do. And honestly, some of the best dancers I know who are booked and busy, who found their tribe, all trained together like a family. They supported each other, they grew together, and they still support each other to this day. In fact, a lot of them get booked on the same jobs together. So this is the absolute best case scenario, and I wish this for all of you. It helps your quality of life when it comes to dancing. On the other hand, and this is something I had to go through, and I hope that none of you have to go through this, but 9 times out of 10, at least one of you probably will, just because life be lifing. Now, if you're in a group or a friend group who is not on the same page as you as far as training, taking advanced classes, getting better, you're going to have to leave them, guys, and go out into the wild and actually just train on your own until you find people who are on the same page as you. Now, I'm not saying that you can't be friends with the people you started off with. I'm not saying that you can't dance with the people you started off with. I'm not saying that at all. It just means you have to respect your own growth first. And hopefully, once they see how quickly you've grown, they'll jump on the bandwagon as well. And then y'all can all be on the same page together. However, if that doesn't work and they're still where they're at and you start to grow past them, you're just going to have to accept that. And that's okay. And if they're really your friend, they'll be happy for your growth and they'll be inspired by your growth. And this might be a controversial topic, but I'm just speaking from my experience and from what I've seen. You have to go out there and put yourself first when it comes to dancing. Dancing is collaborative and competitive at the same time. So you want to be supportive for your friends, but if your goal is to be an advanced dancer or to even get booked, you're going to have to take this seriously, and your friends are just going to have to understand. And if they want the same thing that you want, then they're going to have to put their money where their mouth is too and get uncomfortable and go to those classes that don't feel so good all the time. And yeah, after certain classes where you don't feel the best, it's gonna suck. It is. There's been times where I left classes crying. And when you're training on your own, you're not gonna have that emotional support from strangers. So, it can be discouraging, but if you keep going, if you keep pushing, your community will find you and you will have that support. So just keep that in mind. Either level up together and become a force to be reckoned with together, or stand alone, strong on your own. But either way, get it done, y'all. Make sure you don't let anything or anybody, get in the way of your growth. My last tip is getting invited to sessions. So if you don't know what sessions are when high performing dancers are invited to private group sessions. So that's when the group learns choreography in a short amount of time, and their challenge is to perform it like they would on stage. It's called being performance ready. And sessions are more serious. Again, you have to be invited to sessions. So if you're not getting invited to sessions, try not to take it personally. Even if you've been in the game for a while and you're like, dang, why haven't I been invited to sessions? Y'all, I swear on everything, that was me. But as I've grown and as I've learned over time, you cannot take that personally. And this is why. It's probably because you still have growing to do. And elite dancers who are in these sessions, they have a goal. And most of the time, it's to get that video at the end of the session. I mean, a lot of the time, these sessions are done for just training purposes. But depending on the choreographer and depending how poppin' they are in the industry, that session could be like a submission, or it doesn't even have to be a submission. They could just post it online, and the artist that they're dancing to could love it so much that they all get booked. So sessions are for more serious people, but they're golden opportunities to be around people who are either professionals or on the verge of being professionals. And that is the sweet spot. But again, if you don't get invited, you can't take that personally. You just have to keep going to class and keep getting better. And one of the reasons why you can't take it personally outside of getting the video is because of that statistic. If you're not ready to be in that session with those people, your presence alone could drop the person next to you's performance by 30%. Really think about that. Like I said, dance is collaborative and competitive, but at the end of the day, when you get to those professional spaces, you have to be collaborative. You have to care about the person next to you. And if you're messing up the person next to you because you're not getting it, then you just can't be in that space yet. It doesn't mean you'll never get there. It just means you're not ready. Or on the other hand, if you find yourself in a spot that's like, oh, maybe I'm not getting invited into these advanced sessions, but I know I'm good enough to do my own session with people that are on an intermediate advanced level, then go ahead and do that. Do your own session with people who are on the same level as you and be consistent in that. But if you're going to do that, just know that you still have to take those advanced classes and bring the information and the lessons you brought back to that session, because at the end of the day, you're still doing the session with people that are on the same level as you. So don't just let your own sessions be your own training, because then you're going to find yourself in a situation where you're just training with your friends and you're not getting any better. So just make sure there's a balance. So whether you do your own sessions or you get invited to sessions by a choreographer that you look up to, either way, you're putting yourself out there, you're branding yourself. Somebody is going to see your potential. Somebody's going to want to book you. You're going to make noise. Sessions are lit, okay? So just take that little piece of advice, and whether you're getting invited to sessions or not, just know that sessions are great to build community and they're great to learn from other talent around you. So if you are struggling with community, make sure you're talking to those people in those dance classes to see if you can get invited to sessions, to strengthen those bonds and to strengthen that talent that you're growing within yourself. And you never know, like, the people who invite you to those sessions, or if you're inviting people to your sessions, may inspire you and help your growth and your style in a way that you never would have imagined. Well, that's pretty much it for today, y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get updates, and look out for the next video. Bye.